It's Charles Johnson Day, and he will speak on determining if Louisiana population of sheepshead minnows practice intraspecies cleaning behavior and documenting behavioral interactions.
How y'all doing? Let's talk about some fish. Basically, with this study, let me first clarify. This means basically consuming scales for diet. I just learned it myself. Cyprianum variegates are actually thought to be cleaning one another, different species of parasites and such. And so I wanted to test to see if they truly do clean one another or it's something else. So let me just give a quick outline of what happens. The habitat, they can live in freshwater, saltwater. Mostly you'll find them in brackish water around here. This is a little map. You see that between Lake Maurepas and Lake Pontchartrain, Rudock area, Highway 51. I've collected numerous of them, probably over 100 cyprinodons in this area. They can live in shallow habitats, and this is a picture my girlfriend took for me right on the side of the highway. It's about maybe 2 inches, 3 inches of water in there. Also, they can live in low oxygen areas, but for some reason I can't keep them alive in my tank. So I come up with 2 ways of determining if cyprinodons are actually cleaning one another. The first one is content in the intestines. If there's actually parasites, leeches, trematodes, you name it, in the intestines, one would assume they're cleaning. So, but also if you ever dissect a fish like I have, they're in everything. They're in every single fish. You'll find parasites and stuff. So I'll come up with another one. Physical interactions. If they're cleaning one another, if they're showing that they're picking parasites off of them, then one would assume that the parasites inside the intestines is from cleaning. So let's first go with content in the intestines. I chose 25 males, 25 females, and you can actually tell this is the male, this is the female. To tell the difference is on the dorsal fin, there's actually a black dot. So I had binocular microscope, 2 of them actually, one of them formatted for a camera that was pretty cool. What I'll do is I'll actually make a cut in the ventral from the mouth to the anus, and I'll remove the intestines. Yummy, that's the intestines right there. Typical things that are found in the cyprinodons. In a female, you'll find eggs, algae rocks, unidentified material, and also insects. I have a bunch of charts actually. I've dissected 50 cyprinodons, and I just want to go over them. There are 8 different portions of it. There's the gender, the size, the scale, what was in the unidentified material, algae, insects, rocks, and eggs. And if you can see, actually, 14 to no insects. So that's interesting that actually we have no insects, but we have 14 scales in it. So you go to the next one. You have 5, you have 18, and no insects, no parasites, nothing in there. So some starting to click. Same thing, 13, you really don't have any, except for finally have one, 14, and we have crustaceans or parasites. And same with this as well. The little stats that I came up with, 86% of these cyprinodons out of 50 had scales inside the intestines. 86. Then 20% of those cyprinodons actually had some kind of parasite or some kind of crustacean, you name it. And then a whopping 14% had both. The results from this, more scales were found in the intestines than crustaceans, parasites. I actually came up with 3 different ideas. This could indicate that first, cyprinodon variegates are consuming scales as a diet. The amount of scales that was in the intestines might be a nutrient for them. The next one is cyprinodon variegates get scales they're coming from attacking other fish. If you've ever seen this in a tank, it is amazing. If you put it with your goldfish, kiss it goodbye, because it is just going to kill it. The next one is possibly cleaning. Scales are possibly being removed from the cyprinodons in the cleaning process. So the second one, physical interactions. There was actually a study done in Virginia by Dr. Abel, concluding that cyprinodon variegates were actually cleaning one another. And so first he indicated that one cyprinodon would go up to another one with a 45-degree angle while it stayed horizontal. Next, both would go in a 45-degree horizontal state, and then cleaning would happen. So I decided, let's try to get this behavior recorded. So 10 trials of male, male, 10 trials of female, female, 10 trials of male, female. No fish were reused. That's one thing I had to learn. That's not scientific if you reuse them. 24 hours of acclimations, I let them sit because usually when you take something from the swamp or anything in that sense, they're going to act wild. They don't know where they are. Then I had 1 hour of observation. I would sit in front of the tank with my camera and stare at them and hope they did something. Unfortunately, this semester, during fall, no behavior was shown. But I did previous studies in last spring and concluded that that behavior was shown during spring. So this is possibly due to spring spawning. So the two behaviors that I did encounter were aggressive/dominance and courtship. Aggressive/dominance was between all the species, the male, male, female, female, and male, female, usually indicated by a heads-up position at a 45-degree angle. One of the female or male would go heads up towards the opposing one and actually chase it around the whole entire tank. Or both of them would go 45-degree angles towards each other and see who's going to back down, and then one of them backs down. That's it. The next is courtship. This was really good. The courtship was done by the male. The female would stay horizontal the entire time, while the male would go heads down at a 45-degree angle and hover over the female. See, this is the male right here, and that's the female. And so he would follow her throughout the tank, even going back to the tail, just keep pivoting. Let's see. Actually, I have 4 videos showing the different behaviors. I first have a video of the female community tank, and then I have 2 male community tanks, and then I also have the courtship. So you can give me a little patience, I can try to get this situation. Everybody see the video kind of? All right, this is a female tank, a female community tank. If you can focus your attention right here, this is a female going heads up at approximately a 45-degree angle. And you can actually watch her as she's pivoting around to other sopranos. Another soprano lunges at her, knocks her off balance, and then she goes back into her state. So let's watch. And you actually have another one over here too. See, she's going heads up towards the surrounding areas, and then let's see when this other one comes. And there you go. Oh, and there she goes. She's back at it. So this is actually a community tank. I believe. Let's see. Right here. 2 males are actually going heads up towards one another. Just like in this study, it stated that both of them would go 45 degrees towards each other, but then it said clean at them. Well, you can be the judge on this one. And you can actually see right here, both of them going heads up towards one another, and one of them scurries away. Now this is a cool video. This is a male sopranon in a community tank. It's going heads up while other sopranons are swimming around it, but once when it sees other sopranons, it starts lunging surrounding sopranons, and you can actually see this. There you go. You're in trouble, and you're in trouble. Now, this is the coolest video that I love. This is the courtship, possibly, between a male and a female. The male is the one doing the heads down behavior. The female is staying horizontal and watching the male. As you can see, there's the male, and the female is the smaller one. And whoop, there you go. Sorry, I got really excited. And there you go. She's playing hard to get. But he's dumb as a rock. He wants it. And there it goes. And here it goes again. And I believe one more time. Well, no, he stopped. So I hope y'all enjoyed that video. Let me go back to the PowerPoint if I can find it. Okay, cool. Let me get back to the real quick. All right, so I showed y'all this, the different behaviors that were happening. So, conclusion. Sopranon variegates are not cleaning and taking parasites off of one another. I stared at enough video, I did not see it. I wanted to see it. It looked pretty cool in the paper, but I did not see it. The amount of scales inside the intestine are possibly from aggressive actions. Like I stated before, these fish are very aggressive. They will kill other fish in there if they want it. But also, this could indicate that they are consuming scales as a diet. And then thirdly, the heads up, heads down behavior is either territorial or courtship, depending on the sex. Like you saw the male sopranons and female sopranons when they were in the community tank, they did heads up. When it was a male and female, the male went head down and chased the female all throughout the tank. Now, I would like to thank Dr. O'Connell. He actually introduced the study to me. He gave me a couple of the dead fish to go through. I want to thank Alexander Foster. He gave me the 2 microscopes and formatted it for me and helped me with a lot of the software. Now, I'd like to thank my girlfriend for actually recording all of it while I was going through all the yummy stuff. And thank you. That's actually the sopranon burying itself in sediment. I don't have the guts. Okay. I'm still undergrad. I'm trying to go to grad school. So maybe that's a possibility, man.
Very good.
Any other questions?
Anything else? Well, also, in the future, I'm hopefully going to take other fish species from down here, possibly sailfin mollies, Gulf killifish, and see if they're also doing this same kind of behavior. Because if they're cleaning, I want to find out. So, thank y'all very much.